The best review activities are comprehensive, invest your students, and actively engage them in your content. Here's a strategy that does all three: the A to Z review book. The object of the activity is for your students to create review books with the pages themed around different letters, from A to Z. Each page will feature an aspect of the material you've been teaching your students corresponding to that page's letter, as well as a simple illustration and a sentence that describes the topic. First, make a blank booklet of colored paper for each student, and set out crayons, markers, and colored pencils and pens. This strategy is going to engage your class's creative side as well as their memory and recall. Begin the activity by having your students design the covers to their books. I've been teaching a unit on the solar system, so let's draw some fun planets and stars. Next, work on the A page together with your students. Modeling is always helpful for creative activities like this. Ask your students what they think the class needs to remember from your unit that starts with A. For our lesson on the solar system, I bet my kids will say, asteroid belt. So, in this example, have your students illustrate the asteroid belt on their A page and work with them to come up with what that page's descriptive sentence could be. Maybe, the asteroid belt separates the inner planets from the outer planets and has millions of asteroids in it. That's a pretty helpful reminder. Now that you've provided an example, have your class work independently on their own books, starting with B. Pretty soon, you'll have at least one student wondering how in the world they'll think of topics for the letters Q, X, and Z. It can be tough, but encourage them to be creative and think outside the box. For example, their X page topic could begin with EX. Because this is such an involved activity, it can be helpful to split it up over several days of review. This has the added benefit of giving students time to generate fresh, new ideas in between sessions. Once your students have finished the A to Z review books, it's time to share them out loud to the rest of the class. This maximizes the amount of content they get to review, since they will all have different answers. Consider having students share in pairs, then share out their best examples in a whole class review afterwards. Save some of the best A to Z books to show future classes as an example, and to set the expectation for quality work. Try this strategy out before your students' next assessment. It's definitely one for the books.